So I went to the dump the other day and I saw this and I thought, let's see if we can, well, first of all, let's see if it works. And second of all, if it doesn't work, let's see if we can fix it. So this is a Chromebook, a Samsung Chromebook. And the model number, in case you can't see it there, is the XE500C13 Chromebook. And the specified part of that model, or the version, is K04US. And so this is I think it's a Chromebook 3, and it's an 11.5-inch model. As you can see, it's got a sticker here. It is kind of disgusting because it was at the dump. It's not with garbage, it's with e-waste. So it's not like it's, I dug through trash for it. It was with other e-waste when I went there. So I thought, well, let's see what we can do with this thing. So I brought it home. Well, let's take a look at it first. You have, I'm going to clean this up before I do anything with it, but you have your Samsung branding. You have a textured plastic here. It's a matte black plastic. It's almost like a fabric texture. You have, of course, your chrome branding up here. On the bottom, you have those 4 rubberized feet, and you have your 2 stereo speakers. On the right side of this device, you have a headphone jack, a USB port, and on the left-hand side, you have a micro SD card slot. You have an HDMI port. You have another USB port, and I'm not sure if those are high speed or not. They probably are. And then this is your power port here. So, being that I don't have a charger for this, I had to go and buy one. So we're going to kind of go into the cost of all this versus buying this used, because I don't think you can get this brand new anymore. But it's fairly comparable. But the value in this is trying to take trash and turn it into something useful. I think I can do it at a little bit of a savings from buying this, but we'll see by the end of this video. So as you open this up, you'll notice that the screen is very dirty and the screen is broken. So there's still a little bit of a charge to this. I wasn't sure if there would be still a bit of a charge. As you can see, the screen is broken here, so that's unfortunate. So I have already gone and bought a replacement screen because I know that that this was the problem here. I just didn't know it would still hold the charge so that I could show you here. I thought I'd have to charge it up a little bit more before I could do that. So that's what this video is going to be about, cleaning this up and replacing this screen. So the screen is smashed, so that's why the person didn't want to keep it anymore. You can use these still with a broken screen, though. So if I didn't want to have, the use of the laptop capabilities of this, I could still use that HDMI port, plug it into a monitor or a television set, and still have use of a computer. But in this case, I do want this as a functioning device. So there is a little bit of a flex here at the bottom. So I don't know what happened to this poor thing, if it was thrown around a bit or whatnot, but I do know for a fact that that screen is broken. So it is getting power to the screen, so that's good. I haven't really tried anything on here to see if it would, if the mouse is working, all that stuff. But we'll see if we can get this working again. There's a lot of junk on this. There was a label here. I don't know what that was here. Probably maybe the Intel stickers here, so I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna, clean off all the stickers or what we're gonna do, but we are gonna clean this little thing up and see if we can get it running again. On the side here, you'll see the LED that shows that it is powered up. Alright, so there we go. It's all cleaned up, removed the sticker. I used a little Goo Gone to get rid of any of the adhesive, but it actually came up a lot easier than I thought it was going to. When I'm filming these videos, I'm filming 3 today, I realize how long my nails are, and I'm cringing, and I think to myself, I should have cut them. However, they came in handy to remove that sticker. So when I used the Goo Gone, it made this look really nice and brand new because it's oil-based, but I'm not doing anything with this Chromebook for looks. So I cleaned it off really nicely, and it kind of reveals some of the scratching that you have on this, but again, this is a dump find. This is what you should expect. But I cleaned everything up really nicely. I washed my hands. That's why you see a little bit of moisture coming off of my hands after I cleaned this up. But, you know, everything's clean, even the screen, even though I don't need to, so I didn't put too much effort into it. But I cleaned it up as much as possible. I got rid of the sticker adhesive there. There is some marring right about there, and I think there's a little there and maybe there. Again, I don't really care. I just want this to work. Now, I probably should have plugged this in with the HDMI to make sure that the laptop works itself before buying a screen. But I just got kind of excited. There's a little bit of the rubbing alcohol still there, a little bit wet there. Not a big problem, it'll dry off. But I used rubbing alcohol to clean this off. But, you know, I got a little excited to, you know, replace the screen. I probably should have made sure that everything else worked by hooking it up first, but not a big deal. We'll cross those bridges when we get there. I think whatever the case may be on this, it's going to be a good learning experience. And if you have any desire to tinker yourself, if you come across a situation like this, you might want to try this as well. Just make sure that you're careful and take all the proper precautions that you don't get injured when you do it. But even if this, I think it's gonna, like I said, we'll do the math at the end of this to see if, you know, buying a used one off of eBay versus fixing this one monetarily, if there's any advantage that way. I think it's pretty close, but at the end of the day, it's going to be very fulfilling to fix something, and then also the learning experience along the way. You would normally pay for that, to, you know, have somebody teach you that, or pay with your time or whatever, but you know, to watch a tutorial video such as this one. But nothing beats firsthand experience. So for that, I think it's going to be a valuable little adventure here. So let's turn this off here. And we're going to remove this LCD screen and put in the new one. But first, let's unbox the new one. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the screen back all the way, and as you can see, it goes back 180 degrees. The next thing I want to do is power this down. Now, this does not have a removable battery, so I want to make sure that it's powered down when I do this process here. I'm going to wait for this LED light to turn off. There we go. Now, the way that you remove this bezel is you just kind of pry it off, and you do it from the inside. So I'm just going to start by getting the tabs off and work my way around here. I've already started to bring that up there. There we go. And I don't have to be too careful with this because the screen's broken. All right. I do want to be a little bit careful though, because I don't want to break the bezel here, because there we go. It isn't the most rigid plastic that there is. All right, it's almost all off. I just have a little section here that I have to get off. There we go. All right, there we go. Pretty simple, and all the tabs are still intact. So that's good. So let's put that to the side. So the screen is mounted in at least 4 spots, if not more. Actually, I think it is just 4 spots. The hinge area here, I might have to loosen, but we'll see first. The good thing is again, that the screen, I don't have to be too careful with it because it's broken. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my little toolkit here, and all I'm going to need is a small Phillips screwdriver. All right, looks like this tip will work. I'll just put it in the base here, and let's see if we can remove. There we go. All right, all 4 screws are removed, and they're very small, so I don't want to lose those. So let's see if I can just, okay, that does come off easily without having to mess with the hinges down here. So the next thing I want to do, and I want to be careful with, is I need to detach the screen from where it's plugged in to the motherboard. So we're gonna push this down here. It's a good thing I left my nails long here, because there is a little metal gate here. Right there, I moved it up. So it was down, I got my finger under that, and I popped it up like that. There we go, unplugged and ready to go. Now on the old screen there's a little bit of adhesive tape here that should be on the bezel right over here. The adhesive tape on the other side still stayed on the bezel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get that off of there. I do have double-sided tape that I could use if I need to, but I think I'll be able to remove it from here and just reuse this piece and put it right about here. There we go. Looks pretty good. I'll push it down a little bit, not too hard, but I'll push it down a little bit when the new screen is on there. Now it looks like I did a really good job of cleaning this, so it doesn't look like I have to do any more cleaning on this. Okay, here's the new screen, and let's get it out of its little bag here. All right, well, there's some fingerprints on it. I was going to be very, well, actually there's looks like there's plastic on this, a protective piece of plastic. So we will remove that, but not quite yet. That would come off here. So let's get this little piece of styrofoam off of there. And let's get this one plugged in like the other one was plugged in. Just line it up. And slide it in here. There we go. I used the little metal piece here and kind of just gently pulled upward, and it slid in nicely. And then let's see if we can just push that down. There we go. Looks like everything is reattached there. All right. Very easy thus far. Fold this back, and then we're going to screw this back down. Now, as always, when I work on computers, when I tighten a screw, I just tighten it until it's snug, but don't overdo it. Don't over tighten it. I'm going to have to remove, or at least pull this tab back here to get the final screw hole here. Okay, So before I put the bezel back on, I'm just going to make sure that this works. So I'm going to fire this up for the first time. Now, this probably, I'm going to assume that whoever threw this Chromebook away never power washed it. They probably just, had a broken screen, didn't hook it up via HDMI anywhere, and just chucked it out. So before I use it, I'm going to power wash this Chromebook because I don't want, I don't really want anybody else's information, and I'm not going to go diving in there to see if there is, any information on there. You would need a password anyway, and I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned with rejuvenating a piece of garbage, basically, and giving it new life. So we're probably going to see something pop on the screen here. I will obscure it so that way, we're not dealing with anybody's privacy or anything like that. So let's fire this thing up. Everything should work. Let's fire it up. And there we go. Chrome. Now, you see a number there. That's because you have a protective piece of film here, and I'm going to be removing that shortly. But it's working, and that's all I'm concerned with. So let's turn this off, and let's get the bezel back on here. So we're just going to kind of work it the way that we pulled it off, and just kind of sandwich it back on there. Now if I look at the tabs here, mostly I want to press in the middle of this bezel and on the edge of the bezel to lock things into place. On the top of it, which is on the bottom here, but this is the top of it, a little bit further in, and then in the midway point here, and then on the bottom. So let's just line everything up here. And it is a little bit difficult doing this with the camera in the way. Oh, before I do that, I want to take this protective coating off here. So let's pull this back. There we go. Very nice. It really feels good when you can bring life back to something that was just thrown away. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this back down here again, and let's see what we can do to wedge this into place. I'm going to start with the hinge area here. There we go. And I'll actually start with the hinge and work my way up. Okay, it looks like everything's in place, but I'm just going to give it the once over here. Oh, missed one there. All right, there we go. Looks like everything is back to normal, and yes, good. Good job there. So let's fire this thing up again. So the first thing I want to say that impresses me about this Chromebook is that it has been, I don't know, I've had it since I picked it up from the dump. I think I've had it for at least, I want to say at least 2 months before I've even attempted any of this stuff. And it still has a charge. I think it said 83% left of that charge of whoever had it last. So that is impressive, because the Chromebook that I have, if you just close it up or turn it off, it'll dissipate. The battery will dissipate, even if you don't get a lot of use out of it. So I'm very impressed with that. So I don't have any way to access this Chromebook other than browsing as a guest, and that's really not what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to get into a menu where I can just power wash this Chromebook, start from scratch, and put in my own information. So the first thing I want to do is I want to hit Control, Alt, Shift, and R. So most of those are all together here, so that's good. So Control, Alt, Shift, and R. So reset this Chrome device. So what I'm going to do, I already have a hair on there. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to power wash and revert. So we're going to hit that, confirm a power wash with return to previous version. Your device will be returned to the previous installed version of Chrome. All user accounts and local data will be removed. This cannot be undone. Well, that's fine for me. We're going to continue, and we're going to power wash this thing because it's no longer, it was thrown away by its previous owners, and I'm going to be using it. I already invested some money in it, and let's see, it doesn't need, let's see, power washes happen when critical errors are detected. Yes, power wash in progress. Fortunately, I have enough juice on the battery here that I don't really have to worry about plugging it in. However, I did buy an AC adapter for this because obviously moving forward I need to have one so I can charge this up. But that seems pretty quick to power wash if it is completed, but we'll see if it is or not. Yeah, there we go. So pretty simple. So everything is set up. The screen looks great. So the battery, I just checked the battery. It says I have 81% left, which should be over 4 hours of use, which is great. And I'm pretty happy. I haven't tried out the webcam, but thus far typing on the keyboard seemed to work just fine. Didn't have any problems with any of the keys not registering. So far so good. And the only thing I guess left to take a look at on this is the AC adapter that I bought for it. I just want to make sure that it works. So here's the adapter I bought off of Amazon. And I did my research, so it should work, but you never know. So here we go. It's a generic adapter, so it's not a, first-party Samsung adapter. But I like that it is all one cord. Sometimes you'll get, I believe my other Chromebook has a more generic power adapter that you would find on a regular laptop where you actually have the external power brick in the middle and two separate cords that connect into it. But this one seems to be a 6 feet in length, most likely. It has the Velcro strap on it, and most importantly, we want to make sure that this thing is going to plug in. So, alright, it doesn't plug all the way in, which is very interesting. There's kind of a, you can see right there, where there's a little bit of a separation there. But let's see if when I plug it into an outlet, let's see that it works. Okay, it's working, it's charging. You saw the screen turn up a little bit. So even though it doesn't fit all the way in, it seems to work. So that's good. So I installed a program called CPU-X on here, and this will give me the specs of the device. So this is the Samsung Chromebook 3. The processor is a Celeron processor, and it is the Intel N3060. It's rated at 1.6 gigahertz. There's 4 gigs of RAM on here. The screen resolution here is 1366 by 688. and looks like it's a 16 gigabyte version of a Chromebook. Sometimes you get 32, but internal storage, it says 11.04 gigabytes. That probably means it's 16 gigabytes of internal storage. That's fine. I really don't store anything on my Chromebooks anyway. So, okay, what we're looking at here are some of the most recently sold, and it looks like the one sold for $122.50. Interesting. Another one sold for $99. Another one sold for $84. So, yeah, not bad. I mean, I don't have an OEM power adapter, but it is charging, so you know, that might be a little bit of a trade-off there. But you know, very good in terms of savings that I had. So the total that I paid to fix this up, other than my time, the power adapter was $12.88. The screen was $49.44. So let's just round up. $50 for the screen, $13 for the power adapter. So we're looking at $63. And as you can see, the comps here, $122.50, $99, and $84.99. Looks like I made out on the deal and got a little knowledge in the process. So I hope this inspired you maybe to fix something as opposed to throwing it away. This was a very easy fix. All you have to do is make sure you know the product number and you track down the correct screen, because not every screen is going to work in this situation. You want to get a screen that was like the screen that was in this, and that's what I did. I tracked down the number. I looked for a seller on eBay that had good reputation, good feedback, and that's how I got the screen. I got obviously the power adapter through Amazon, and they're, you know, eBay, you know, if the screen didn't work, especially the seller, they contacted me and said, hey, if, you know, we've tested the screen, but if you have any problems with it, make sure that, you know, you return it and we'll give you another one. So I was very happy with the customer service there. And then, of course, Amazon, if anything was faulty with this, I could just return it. So that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And as always, if you want to help out this channel, give me a thumbs up. You can share this video on your favorite social media, or you can actually join my Patreon, all of which is greatly appreciated. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.